Today marks one full year since President Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law. And if you think back to then, it was a challenging time. Remember paying $10 just for a dozen eggs?
So 365 days later, the question is, are we better off? Well, at least nationally, the numbers indicate that we are. Here's a wide view here showing the national inflation rate from July of 2020 to July 23. 3 years ago, we were down at 1%. As you can see through, it did slowly creep up, increasing to nearly 5.5% by July of 2021, and then peaking nearly a year later at over 9%. Not long after that, the Inflation Reduction Act was signed into law, and the rate has steadily been falling ever since.
Outside of bringing down inflation, one of the other primary goals, what the Biden administration calls historic climate action. They say within the past year, over 170,000 clean energy jobs have been created nationwide. And the private sector has invested over $110 billion in clean energy manufacturing.
And the government also set aside money for rebates to homeowners who are making their homes more energy efficient.
Over $346 million was set aside for Florida, but we actually aren't seeing any of that money due to Governor DeSantis fully rejecting all of that money.
So tonight, ABC Action News reporter Stassi Almos taking a closer look at this.
Taking a look at Governor Ron DeSantis' final veto list for 2023, you'll find he vetoed a grant for $5 million from President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act for energy programs. This was startup funding to the total $346 million Florida was to receive for 2 energy rebate programs for American families, $174 million in rebates for energy efficiency improvements, and $173 million for rebates to purchase energy-efficient home appliances. In a letter to DeSantis in July, Florida Rep. Kathy Castor wrote, "Floridians already are reeling from exorbitant electric bills and the most expensive property insurance rates in the country. Now, Florida families and small businesses are being pickpocketed because you've elevated your political interest over the people's interest." I talked with USF professors from the Patel College of Global Sustainability to get their input.
It's really an act which has advanced enormously U.S. efforts to be part of the solution to global climate change, and that is done in a new and innovative way.
But we're stymied by a lack of initiative. We're stymied now by this veto, which is denying us $346 million in support for vulnerable businesses and families and institutions that want to do the right thing.
However, DeSantis does have other programs in place, such as the tax holiday for Energy Star appliances. It includes washing machines, clothes dryers, and water heaters up to $1,500 and refrigerators up to $4,500. I spoke with an employee at a Tampa Bay appliance store who said the savings can be substantial on a $3,000 appliance, but customers often have to go for the cheapest used option over the most energy-efficient appliance. The professors say residents and businesses need more incentives, and the numbers show it can be cheaper.
The history of renewable energy over the last 20 years is one where prices have not been stable at all. They've been precipitously declining, drastically declining. And so renewable energy has actually become far more affordable.
We reached out to Governor DeSantis' office for comment, but did not receive an immediate response. In Tampa, Stassi Almos, ABC Action News.